Welcome. It is the Raider Corner. I'm your host, Eric Johnson. Glad to have you on board as we are on podcast version on the CCC athletic page at cccneb.edu. We're also live weekly on Clear 101 KLIR. And, well, as we transition, the chill in the air means only one thing. Fall season is coming to an end, and it's going to get colder out. But, hey, we got to recognize how everything's been going in and around the athletics. And one of the seasons, want to emphasize, is shotgun sports. And joining me is Coach Saints. Coach, first off, welcome. I know this is your first time on the show. Pleasure having you on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, you're not in Columbus. You're in the Grand Island office, correct?
No, I'm actually in the Hastings office.
Well, my apologies. So, yeah, the ever-expanding coverage of CCC is all over the place. And you are the head coach of Shotgun Sports, and I know everybody's wanting to know. First question is, how do you describe Shotgun Sports to the avid fan base?
Yeah, Shotgun Sports is kind of a all-encompassing term we've adopted. We actually shoot several sports inside what we consider shotgun sports, but the main three that we talk about the most is trap. Trap is pretty prominent in Nebraska. Most people have somewhat seen trap, but if you haven't, there's a small little trap house in front of you, and they're going to shoot out. Oh, do I have a target? I don't have a target with me. I was going to show you.
The clay targets?
Yep. I have an old one. Now, this is not what we shoot. This one's kind of old, but we shoot clay targets, and the different games are just how they're thrown. Trap is just a single target out in front of you, anywhere inside a 45-degree angle. Skeet, there are two main throwers, and they're always coming across. And then sporting clays, there's really no limit to what they can throw in sporting clays.
So you are part of the Shotgun Sports team for CCC. How many does that encompass on a yearly basis?
Say that one more time.
How many does that encompass each school year?
How many events we go to?
How many on the roster?
20. We have 20.
Okay. And
so that our roster is kind of, it can dip and kind of come in and out. Last year we had 14. This year we had 20. If we can stay within that 20-25 range, that's kind of where I'm looking to keep the team. But you can have anywhere from 5 to 30, just depending on how the recruiting year goes.
And so you had a very solid year. Can you walk us through? I know with it starts out mid to late August and goes through right into the October timeframe. And kind of walk us through how the season went for you.
Yeah, it started well. Our first shoot was at Fort Hays and kind of got the freshmen in, getting them figuring out all the other games. Sometimes the freshmen come in a little green to some of the other games that we shoot. They normally have one of them they focus on. So getting them to that first event, letting them see all three events, all three disciplines together is always fun. And it was nice to see in that event that my sophomores were actually coming along really nicely too from the year prior. And then obviously being in the new conference, we tried out some duels. Our first duel went really, really well in Grand Island. I had a couple shooters have personal bests, and actually we shot our personal best trap score at our very first duel, which was a fun way to kick off the season with a 483 out of 500.
Oh my.
Yep.
Wow.
And we didn't quite meet that mark again till about the end of the season. Late into the season, we did end up shooting a 482, but we haven't quite got back to that 483 mark since that duel.
Now, of course, with a lot of people, they're probably thinking, oh, they're just out there shooting, having fun. This is precise, like intricate skill. I mean, you're recruiting some of the best from the best in and around the area. I mean, recruiting for you, how does that entail to kind of form your team each and every season?
Yeah, so I just go as best I can to local tournaments, look for high school, whether it's the SCTP stuff there in Grand Island, the big Cornhusker State shoot that's right here in Doniphan, just north of me, not too far. and then I have good contacts inside most of the high school shooting teams around here, just because shooting sports is such a tight knit community. So I do know most of the coaches in our area and kind of get tabs on who might be up and coming and who's shooting well and all that.
Now, taking a look here, you had the ICC ACC Conference Championships, and of course, you ended out the Bobcat Invite.
Yep.
Overall thoughts of the season? Did you set standard? Did you exceed expectations? Or everything come solid? Or is there anything that needs to be worked on for next season?
No, I think for a second-year team, I think we're right where I thought we should be. We're competing with some of those teams in the ICCAC that are pretty well established, and we're putting up scores to at least match, if not beat, some of their scores. There are a few things, obviously, we need to work on. I mean, as always, there's always something to work on. Figuring out how to get off the bus, wake up, and shoot a good score on our first event, or figuring out how to keep the mentality through the event as we're shooting, whether we're doing good, bad, however that is. But no, I think the season went well. We ended up third at the ICCAC conference event, got a couple of good trophies out of that one, took third in a couple of events, and there's a few events I thought we had a chance at winning. But I think it got into their heads that they could put up a competitive score, and it kind of messed with us a little bit. But they were looking good.
Talking here with Coach Sane on the Raider Corner. Coach, anybody on the team that you want to kind of emphasize that stood out for you this season that went above and beyond expectations?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. Nick Brodsky is always one of our top shooters, consistent as always. It can always, in some event, if not every event, he's most likely going to post us a score. And then I have a couple that have come a long ways. Gabe Grove ran us our first 100 in skeet at one of our duels at Iowa Lakes. And then Bryce Schuster ran a 100 in trap at our last event for the Bobcat Invite. And then honestly, all my sophomores and even some of my freshmen, the growth I've seen from last year to this year, especially in my sophomores, has just been awesome. So there's not those three specifically, but they're all coming along really, really well.
Of course, looking forward to higher expectations next season, recruiting time as well. How far do you usually travel to go around? I know you said you hit some of the major shows around the area. You go visit some of the schools in and around central and southeast Nebraska?
I don't visit the schools, at least not yet. I know I've been asked by a couple of the admissions people if I wanted to go. Unfortunately, that was right in the middle of our shooting season, and I couldn't make it to a few of them. So I might talk with our admissions people and see if I can't end up at a few of these high school events that they're hosting. But as of now, I haven't been to one.
And so if they ever want to come up and look around and say, hey, I'm interested in shotgun sports, get some details, how do they get a hold of you and learn more about shotgun sports?
Yeah, well, all my information is on our Raider CCC website, our athletic page. If you go to sports and there's a recruiting tab, or you can look into shotgun sports, go to coach, all my email, my phone numbers, all that on our website. If you go to the Hastings visit page and you request a visit, there's a tab inside that form that says shotgun sports. If you click on that and submit the form, they're going to set you up a tour that includes talking with me.
And of course, lots of great things in and around Central Community College. And well, for the season to end, I guess, Coach, what's next for you coming up here this winter? Anything special?
Yeah, today we're going to have a little fun shoot, kind of cap the season off. We're going to go do some cosmic shooting in York. One of the local 4-H teams asked us over to have a little fun little end of season thing. And then we're just prepping for the spring. we're looking at starting again in February, cranking up practice again, and starting off, I believe, with the Bulldog invite in Brainerd, Nebraska. Probably the end of February.
So it looks like a fun time. Shotgun sports in full effect. One of the great programs, the activities available there at Central Community College. Coach Saint, appreciate everything that you do. Appreciate the time getting to holler at you. And of course, let's keep tabs and let's talk again here once the season starts up again in the spring.
For sure. Thanks,
All
Eric.
right, Coach Saint, I'm Eric Johnson saying so long for now.